Now, there's also the use of float therapy for deep mindfulness, meditation experiences, as well as for creativity. And in sports, we use it for peak performance as far as visualization strategies go in order to accelerate training and performance when recovery is required. These are things that are quite unique, but some people are very interested in these unique and special aspects of float therapy. And so I want to talk a little bit about how you may use the float tank for things like creativity and deep meditation. Now, a lot of people know that mindfulness and meditation is important, that they should be trying it as a way to reduce stress and anxiety in their lives, but it's challenging if you're new to the experience on how to actually make it sink in and click as far as what it feels like to be in a properly mindful state. The unique thing about float therapy is that it actually slows our brain waves down to the theta brainwave state, which often is only found in experienced meditators who have years of practice, or during REM sleep, which is a state where we don't have actual conscious control of. And that's where we get this unique theta brainwave state, which is deeply restorative, and also it causes a lot of insight into our lives. So when somebody's trying to get into a creative state, one of the strategies is around getting into flow, where you're able to have this theta brainwave activity in your body while you're still awake, and it actually leads to these spikes of insight. And that's a unique thing around creativity, because insight means creating something new, which is often what, whether it's a musician or an artist or a writer, is looking for, creating something new and uniquely theirs. And as far as the deep meditation goes, you're just able to let your body relax and settle into the float and get into this deep state that is really hard to achieve often outside of the float tank, especially for somebody that's maybe a little bit more higher energy and unable to sit and meditate on their own. I find that a lot of those people really do well with the float experience because they're treating themselves to this deep meditation state. And so it's very special in that way too. Now, also, as far as athletes go and performing your best in a peak state, we find that a lot of the professional athletes, and it's going down into more amateur levels now too, are using the float tank as a way to eliminate all those distractions so that they can visualize their practice as closely to in the real life game time situation as possible. And they do this through mentally imagining that they're in the scenario that they'd be in during game time, whether it's playing basketball or football or hockey, and rehearsing those shots through the float tank in their mind, closing their eyes, meditating on this, getting relaxed, and visualizing perfect practice is a way to actually train the motor cortex and our movement patterns to rehearse and perform it in real life as well. So it's a very cool effect that you can get through floating, is this perfect practice and visualization. And that can also be used in terms of creativity and rehearsing for performances that are more of the creative or artistic style, or also in terms of meditation and visualizing yourself perfectly meditating is actually a way to train yourself to get better at doing that as well. So those are some of the unique aspects that the float tank offers for people that are maybe a little bit more well-versed in the float experience. They've had a few sessions under their belt and they're ready to try something different with it and take it to another level of experience.